Well, here we are in 2023. Clown world, UDR world, and it's going to get pretty bad, I suspect, for firearms content creators in YouTube. And that's what this video is about, kind of more focusing on what I'm going to do as a gun content creator. Where am I going to go? What am I going to do? Will TNP still be here as far as gun content goes in the future? Stand by. I have a rant or two, and it may shock you. I'm being serious. Yep. But before I get going on my rants, thank you. How about we look at one of those very cool guns in the background and just, I don't know, show it to you close to the camera. That MG42 is too ungainly. I'll knock stuff over. I'll kill that F-15 on the top shelf if I take it off. Showing you that one. That one's too big. How about this? The MP44. Never shown to you in close up before. Here we are, boys. Check that out. Oh, yeah, that's cool. That is cool. We are very lucky the Germans did not have a ton of these at the outbreak of World War II. Wouldn't have changed the outcome. That's not what I'm saying. It just would have resulted in more casualties. Yeah, very capable, very ahead of its time. The stamped MP44. Let's check this out, by the way, in detail. I'm going to rack the charging handle and pull the trigger. Nothing fancy, that's not smart. You should safety check it, hey! No, I'm not going to safety check it. And the reason I'm not going to safety check it is because the gun is fake. It's never been real. It's a die-cast replica of an MP44. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Even up close, it looks pretty good. It wasn't inexpensive, but I bought it specifically as a prop. But just like a lot of the guns in the background are fake or airsoft. Wah, wah. Like I have a real MG42. Come on, get real. They're great props, though. They're great background guns. But the reason I'm showing you this is because, well, it's cool. And another reason is, how long will it be before YouTube decides that even displaying a gun like this, even a fake gun, is against their community guidelines, and that your channel will be shut down or receive a strike because you showed a gun with a magazine of this capacity? What is this, a 40-rounder in the MP44? Fake die-cast gun, by the way, fake. How long will it be? If you're laughing, then you really do not understand the UDR world that we are in. You don't understand it. You're not paying attention. You think this is a big joke. This is something that here in the project I have been predicting for about, I would say, almost the entire time of TNP. Definitely I focused on it after Parkland about 10 years, a decade. That I said that firearm content will be pretty much deleted eventually off the YouTube platform as the communists take hold, as the protectionists, the leftism that is in charge of this country right now is accepted and treated as normality. And that's where we are now. So it's the upside down of right. Right now, we have gun content creators, really good ones like Mr. Guns and Gear, who I have a lot of respect for. I'm a patron of his. Getting channel strikes and channel deleted, like in rapid succession. Boom, 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 boom. What for? What are they getting channel strikes for? Well, you can go and watch his video on his Patreon service, and I think it might be in his YouTube channel, which he did get reinstated. And my focus isn't really on why. It's because this is a shifting landscape on which we find ourselves as Pro 2A guys, and it's always been shifting, and they have given us some years of rest and just leaving us alone. But now it seems like those days are over, and 2023 is going to bring some bad things to firearms content creators, and it may be applied fairly, unfairly, the same to everyone. Maybe it's just applied to one channel, not the other channel. And I hope some channels survive. I hope my channel survives. I hope all the gun tubers survive, but it's clown world. And so they're changing what constitutes the modification of a firearm. They're acting like even inserting a magazine, a 30-round magazine inside said firearm is a violation of community guidelines. Boom, strike. So where are we going to go from here? The Nut and Fancy Project. What am I going to do as a firearm content creator? What am I going to do when that happens? Well, the first thing that you need to do if you like my content, and there are, by my estimation, about 1.4 million people who tune in weekly to the Nut and Fancy Project. I've never believed Google's numbers. I haven't for years. You don't keep your channel subscriptions the same for 8 years straight. It just doesn't happen. I've been on the back end of shadow banning for many, many years. And so I think my numbers are stagnant. I don't think they're accurate, but blah, blah, blah. Let's just say conservatively 1.4 million people will click to see. Maybe they subscribe, maybe they don't. But they'll click and say, hey, what is Nut and Fancy talking about this week? Usually on my A channel here, it has been firearms related content because that's what gets views. That's what people like. I have tried to steer all of you all in different directions away from firearm stuff. But that's what guys like. And so I've continued to do firearms content. Okay, so let's say I get strike one, strike two, strike three. What's going to happen? I'll get there in a second. As I was mentioning, here's what I would like you to do. Of that number, I've had very, very few people go to my alternative platforms. And right now, and below this video are the links. Go and make an account, if you have not done so already, to UgeTube. That is ugetube.com. Also, Nut and Fancy at Rumble. Those will be my focus points going forth. There are some big asterisks there, some big caveats of what's going to happen or not happen, and it really depends on you guys. Now, I posted a video, I don't know, it's been probably 2 years, and I asked you guys, I foresaw this coming again. I was like, hey, we need to merge away from YouTube for firearms content. And most of y'all didn't do anything. I'm just being honest. You didn't leave YouTube. You love YouTube. It's comfortable. I get it. YouTube is not a horrible product. It's a good technological product. As a consumer, I like it too. I'm not going to lie. But you got to understand, if you're into things that are not approved by the communists, like gun content, like this awesome PSA dagger, dude, you need to start going to your plan B, because this is not a friendly place for gun content. At least it appears to be that way. And I could get canceled very quickly here. So plan B is go to Rumble, Nut and Fancy at Rumble. Links are below, Nut and Fancy at UgeTube. By the way, Sam Robinson, who owns UgeTube, is a huge patriot, huge believer in First Amendment, Second Amendment rights. He never edits stuff. And I have been posting content over there pretty good in the last few weeks. I mean, I'm posting a lot of what you see here. And we need to have a good community presence in both of those platforms, primarily UgeTube for now. And all this may change in the future. I don't know. It could be different platforms. Maybe the communists attack some of these other platforms like Rumble, like YouTube, and they get shut down too. This is Clown World. Uncharted waters, shifting sands. I should say quicksand. So now, and I'm going to talk really honestly with you guys, because if you like my gun reviews and you like what I do here, I got to level with you guys. So if I look at my numbers a week from, heck, not even a week, let's give it 3 days from when I post this video, and I see the numbers, the subs at those platforms have not really gone up, it's going to reinforce the way I'm feeling already. And I'm going to level with you guys, okay? Here's my leveling with you. If I get community strikes here for firearms content, number one, let me back up a little bit. I'm not going to change the way I do things here on YouTube. Did you hear that? I'm not going to change the way I do things. I want to do the same content on the A channel I've always done, the same run and gun action, the same reviews. I'm not going to modify any of that to satiate what are the current guidelines of YouTube. And I don't think I do anything wrong. I always comply to U.S. law. I never show anything illegal. I'm 100% legal in everything I do. I will always do that no matter what platform I'm on. I will never show anything illegal. I just won't do that. If it's legal, I'll review it. I'll show it. When it becomes illegal, I will not review it anymore. Like right now, there's a whole brace reinterpretation coming down from the ATF, and it looks to be very onerous, very bad. Contact your legislators, join GOA, NRA, and fight tooth and nail against it. But this is what happens when you put Biden and the leftists in charge and that the normies support this. This is what happens. And the midterms did not overturn that. This isn't a political video. I'm just telling you the landscape in which we find ourselves. How did this come to fruition? Well, they don't have to answer to anybody, so they're doing whatever they want. Even though the ATF cannot formulate or interpret gun laws, Congress has to do that. They are doing that. So that's going to come down. So, but as long as it's legal, I'll continue to post and do what I've done here in TNP until I can't. So if I log on and I see a community strike and it goes, hey, you got a community strike for this, such and such, I'm like, okay. Strike 2, strike 3, boom, channel gone. What am I going to do? Not a damn thing. Did you hear me? I'm not going to try to reinstate Nothing Fancy Project. It will be done. And if that makes you sad, and it should, because I have quite a history here in YouTube in the Nothing Fancy Project, and thousands, literally thousands of videos that will be gone, boom, in a heartbeat. Because I've chosen to play in their sandbox, YouTube sandbox, and it's now owned by ABC Google. And all that entails, and their worldview and their protectionism, communism, all that stupid shit, that's what's going to happen. And it's going to be a sad day. It may be a sad day for me because it'll be the end of an era. And it will be a sad day for you who perhaps has become accustomed to having, free, you non-donors, come on now, be a donor, link below. They're really the reason I'm still here. It's not just YouTube, it's the donors. You're used to having that content and it will be gone. And so be it. I'll have a B channel still operating. I established that, like I said, many years ago because I foresaw this shutting down of my A channel because I refused to budge with their stupid interpretations that are constantly morphing. I lost my monetization because I didn't budge. They said, hey, if you just get rid of links to gun manufacturers in the description, like gunnies, and, you do this and that, it's like 2 other minor things. I was like, no, I'm not doing that. So I lost hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of ad revenue by saying no. And I'll do it again. I will literally nuke this place. Well, not me. YouTube will nuke it. But I'm not going to beg and say, oh, please, 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 please reinstate Nothing Fancy Project. Please, 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 please. No. Now, if I go to my alternative platforms, YouTube and Rumble, and I see at the end of a week, per se, I see 200,000 new subscribers, and I still have my my donor base that I have, I'm going to continue to do what I do. In fact, let me back up a little bit. I'm going to continue to do what I do for the donors as they stand. So their life won't be changed at all. I'll find a different hosting service. I've already used Vimeo multiple times. I've used YouTube. I don't need YouTube to host my donation videos. There's several platforms I can use. Their life is going to be about the same. So they're going to continue to see firearms content, philosophies of use videos, Soldier Boy, maybe some more Red Sky stuff, gun reviews, knife reviews, watch reviews, fun stuff. And some of this will also post on my B channel, which I'll hit again. So their life will be about the same. So I ask you donors, thank you very much for your support. Make sure your payment method doesn't expire. Because if I log into the donation service and I see, which I have been seeing in the last few months, that I've lost such and such donors, like 300. I'm like, dude, I get less motivated. Because there's other things I can do in life for fun and for money, literally. And it's often a sacrifice to do it here. I'm just leveling with you guys. I enjoy it. I will continue to do that. But that's how it's going to go down. And it might be a big if. Who knows? Maybe weeks go by, nothing changes. Months go by, nothing changes. For whatever reason, Nothing Fancy Project, because we're so established here, they just go, whatever. He's the grandfather of YouTube. We don't really care what he's doing. And I'm not going to flagrantly go out and try to, violate their community standards. And I don't think I have. I'll just kind of do what I've done in the past, like I've said. So if you're a donor, life goes on. If you're not a donor, please sub now. Stay in there for the rest of your life. Anyone can afford $5 a month. Literally anyone. You could do $5 a month. Stay in there. Do a non-expiring credit card, or better yet, like PayPal or something like that. Rock on. But you guys may be shocked that in the future, and again, I don't know what's coming, but in the future, you log on and you see this channel's been deleted. And the words of old Nut and Fancy from 2010 will ring true. The time will come when we are no longer welcome on this platform. Honestly, in a way, I'm kind of surprised I've lasted as long as I have with firearms content. Now, going to the B channel, did you even know I have a B channel? Getting back to audience support. You should subscribe there. It's the Nut and Fancy Project. The link is below. And I established that as a bailout platform when this channel dies because of the stuff we're seeing right now. Now, I cannot and will not post gun content over there on the B channel because the same thing will happen. It'll just go boom, 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 nuked. But I do other content, non-firearms content there, adventures of all sorts and descriptions. Please subscribe there. And I will continue to use the platform. So you may think, well, I'm going to bail on YouTube altogether. Well, people are in YouTube more than any other platform. And as you saw, this is where I've continued to focus because that's where you guys are. So, a couple years ago when I posted the first video, I could say, well, I'm just going to shut down my A channel and Nut and Fancy Project. But, I have like 8,000 subscribers in YouTube, but like not many at all. Great guys. Thank you for doing that. But for me to continue to go and do what I do to the level I do, I got to have a broad viewer support. I have to have a donor support. If those wane, then I go and do something else. Being honest with you guys. Because I have to monetize my efforts here for all the reasons that you should know by now. But go to the B channel and subscribe there as well. And you'll see non-firearms. So you won't go to the B channel again. You're not going to see like an AR-15 pistol review over there. I don't do that. It's here on the A channel. Because that's considered acidic content to YouTube. Not to you and I, but to YouTube. So that's my plan. Will it change? I don't think so. I think I'm going to stick with that. Just telling you, I'm going to stick with it. So, and I may create another YouTube channel. I'm just going to tell you, and it can be 180 degrees from what I've done so far. I have dozens and dozens of channel ideas that can be fully monetized. I don't need to use guns for content. I'm just being honest with you guys. I've done it because I love you guys. I appreciate your support, and I've continued to serve you as I've promised to do throughout the years. And I've done a pretty good job with that. I mean, I'm posting like 3 videos a week in the donation environment. I do at least 1, sometimes 2 per week here in the general TNP audience. So, but times are a-changing for the worse. It's not good. And who knows, this video could get taken down. My channel could get taken down and all that work is gone. Not really, I have it all on hard drive. All backed up. So what can you do? Well, as far as changing what YouTube is doing, I don't think you're going to have too much of a voice. You're welcome to contact YouTube. I think a lot of you guys did 2 years ago and even older than that and said, hey, we don't appreciate your new guidelines. I think that's always helpful. It's good for them to hear from people, but keep in mind the person getting that comment is probably a 22-year-old college girl with purple hair, and she probably, hate might be a strong word, but she doesn't like guns. She doesn't like gun content. She's trying to be fair in her, her job here at YouTube, maybe, but she's more inclined to just click that cancel button. Judging from what's gone on in the past and from what I see that political movement doing, they're anti-gun, they're anti-freedom, they're anti-First Amendment, they're anti-Second Amendment. they don't like anybody who pushes back either. So that's where we're at, dudes. I wish it was happy. I wish I could give you happy news, but I'm not in control of the sandbox. They are. But really, it's the audience of the Nut and Fancy Project that is in control. And I really want to emphasize that because, again, if guys don't go to my secondary platforms, then it's a message. It's a message being sent, hey, thanks for the memories. And we're not going to do that. We're not going to follow you anywhere. And if we can stay in YouTube and stay in this communist platform, it's a little bit of exaggeration, slight exaggeration, then we'll do it. But we're not even going to click to another browser window to go watch your content. Then that's fine. I'm not complaining about it, but things will change for non-donors. As long as I have what is motivational to me, a donation community that is substantial, then you're going to see life go on as always, as long as I don't get shut down in the donation service. And some of you guys may go, well, you know, this service is leftist, this service, this company's leftist. Let me tell you something, and I've ranted about this before super quick. They're all politically opposite of where we are. You cannot function in a modern society if you use a credit card, a banking service, usually a cell phone service. There are some good cell phone providers, donation services, technology companies. They're all aligned with the left. It's the way it is. You can't function in a modern world. You will find yourself supporting that. And I've always said I do way more good by continuing to do what I've done, using those services, and that's what I've done. And it has been proven true. Because getting the message out, having that communication ability is very helpful. And, you know, you just falling on your sword and going out and homesteading in Alaska and canceling everything, who are you going to be talking to? You know, 4 guys on the ham radio? What's that? So some guys are principled and they're like, well, I'm not going to support this. I'm not going to support that. I'm not going to support PayPal. They're all leftists, dude. I'm sorry. I wish I could change it. And they've all had issues. They've all canceled people they don't agree with. And I just do what I can do, man. I'll do what I can do. And I'll continue to push forward. Again, it's really the donation base is the nuclear reactor for the Nut and Fancy Project. And if that melts away for whatever reason, I hope it doesn't, I'll go do something else. And it'll be very sad. It'll be an adjustment. But you'll probably see me in in YouTube probably. Yes, it's a leftist platform. I know. But doing something completely different and starting all over. And it can happen. And I hope it doesn't. I hope we can keep on trucking. But things are not looking good in 2023. They're looking very bad. Anything aligned with firearms, content creators, doing firearms content, you better have a plan B, bro. You better have a plan B because it's getting ugly. That's all I have to say at this time. Make sure you do that. So YouTube, Rumble, join my Patreon service. I appreciate it. That is the reactor, and I'll keep on trucking. The donors are they're going to be insulated from this. As long as they stick with me, they're going to see Ops Normal going on. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Nut and Fancy Project, safe and sound, deep within the semi-great state of Wyoming. This place is so secret, I don't even have an address that I publish. My wife doesn't even know where this place is. They don't deliver mail to it. My dog can't even find me. That's how secret this place is in Wyoming, and I like it that way. Signing off. Hopefully, I'll be here next week and beyond. Lieutenant Colonel Nut and Fancy, thanks for the memories.